you done now?
Monsieur?
This is a visual.
Oh! Look! I can't believe it. I wonder where this one goes.
Well, let's find out.
One that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we'll meet again. Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if only all my precious plans would come true.
Let's try the ballroom again.
It would let me spend my whole life loving you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Clue Movie Podcast. We break down the 1985 cult classic movie, Clue, the Cluesicle. My name is Brad Gilmore, joined by General Jeff Smith, the Macho Man himself, live in a living color from Riverside, California. I just throw that in there.
No, that's all right. Close. Fullerton,
from Fullerton, California, weighing in tonight at 235 pounds. The master of disaster, the lead documentarian. He is Jeff, the General Smith. How you like that?
This is what he does, folks.
How you like that?
That's his job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, one
That's
of them.
great. I've never had that.
One of them. You need that as
I want to run.
your voicemail. You know.
Yeah.
Leave me a message at the tone. Yeah.
Oh boy, you made my throat hurt just what was doing that. That's amazing.
Hey man. Minute 64.
That's perfect because this minute does not have a lot of dialogue.
It doesn't. So we're adding it in there. This is minute 64, Clue the movie. We're picking up where the cop is still locked in the study. Is that the study that he's in?
He's gone in to make his phone call.
And now they're split back up. It seems to be in their original pairs to go search the rest of the house because it was stated we still haven't finished searching the house yet. Okay? That's why
it seems like they had, but yeah. He says we haven't finished searching the house. Although we hear in the dialogue with Scarlett and Mustard that they have searched everywhere because they go, "Let's go check." Oh, okay. Sorry, visual. He says, "Let's go check the ballroom again, the empty ballroom." They're gonna go look in there again, the room that Mustard chickened out on. Yeah. But this has probably. Definitely my favorite sight gag and my favorite Colonel Mustard moment. And as we have learned in this podcast, Brad Gilmore is a huge fan of not just the physical comedy, but I feel when it happens to Colonel Mustard, because you laugh the most when something bad happens to him. And this is where they're searching the kitchen and he goes to open the door and the ironing board in the kitchen, I guess, falls down and hits him right in the noggin.
Right on the noggin.
And it's fantastic. Yeah.
It is.
And Miss Scarlett doesn't even react.
It is a really funny bit. A really funny bit, man.
It's very good.
She doesn't react and she discovers a secret passageway. Now, this is minute 64 of Clue the Movie Podcast.
Mm-hmm. Do you have the script handy, by the way?
Yes, I do, actually. I will.
Can you check to see if the ironing board gag is in the script? Because I'm curious if it was written and they had to design it, or did it was already there and they filmed it? Because that's such a specific gag.
You know what? Because we didn't cover it in the last one, let me pick up from minute 63, okay?
Okay.
And that way we'll read throughout and we'll just go through it. So, okay, I see it's a free country. Didn't you know? I didn't know. Is that free? May I use the phone now? Certainly. He shows the cop into the library. The cop goes in and Wadsworth locks the door. Interior library. The cop again notices the door being locked. He turns to the telephone. Interior the hall. All the group come out of the study and lounge. Mr. Green, why'd you lock him in there again? Wadsworth, we didn't finish searching the second floor. Professor Plum indicating Mrs. Peacock. We didn't finish either. Yvette agreeing. No. Mrs. White. Can't see why it matters. Mrs. White. But the murderer was on the first floor. Wadsworth. I know that, but we still don't know for certain if anyone else is in the house. Professor Plum. Is it really necessary to carry on with this search? All others. Yes. Professor Plum. Okay. He looks at his watch, but we're running out of time. Only 15 minutes till the police come. Mr. Green. The police came already. Oh, shut up. Yvette takes Mr. Green by the hand and says, come on. They go up the stairs. Wadsworth and Mrs. White follow. We move then to a very high and very wide shot as they all come up the stairs simultaneously. Mrs. Peacock and Professor Plum return to the cellar stairs. On the second floor, Wadsworth goes back into the first bedroom. Mrs. White goes into the second bedroom. We move with Yvette and Mr. Green up the stairs into the attic where they separate and go into different rooms, of which there are many. We watch Mr. Green peering nervously behind doors, into cupboards, and into trunks. Interior of the kitchen. Here we go. Colonel Mustard and Miss Scarlet enter the kitchen. Miss Scarlet, we searched this kitchen already. Colonel Mustard, let us have a look at the cupboard of the cook. At the cupboard the cook was stuffed into. Miss Scarlet, must we? Colonel Mustard, it might contain a clue. He opens the door. It looks like
that's the name of the movie.
It looks like a big broom cupboard. Then, with an eerie creak, the back wall of the cupboard moves and opens. Another secret passage. Colonel Mustard, look. Miss Scarlet, I don't believe it. Where does this one go to? Colonel Mustard, let's find out. No gag. Written.
That's it. It's not in the script.
Not in the original draft, and it is Colonel Mustard that discovers the secret passage.
Yeah.
How does this make you feel?
And very, very wordy. I feel betrayed. No. Good call. It's better now.
Oh, the scene's much better this way.
Oh yeah, that's much a lot of chitter chatter. Yeah, it seems like the script, all the scenes that we've compared, it's much more dialogue, like explaining things as they go. And at some point, they realized they didn't need to narrate so much. But I wonder if that's also Jonathan Lynn's history and plays and things. It feels very stagey, and it doesn't. The nice thing about Clue is when you see a movie that's either based on a play or should be a play, it feels like a play, and even the acting is different. And I'm not a big fan of stage acting. I think it's too stagey, which is a weird description, but it's too just, I don't know. And Clue never feels that way. It still feels like believable movie style acting. And I like that they took out a lot of the dialogue and just let it be. Like we didn't need to say, we already searched this. But yes, and also the cook was not shoved in a cupboard. She was in the fridge.
She was in the fridge, yeah. So yeah. I agree with you. I think that this does, like when you read the original draft, it does feel more like a play.
Clunky.
And also the reason why I think there's so much dialogue is because on stage you don't have the sets, you don't have camera cuts, you don't have this, so it's a lot of explanation. Oh, let me go over here to the cupboard, and there's really no cupboard there, right? Excuse me.
There's really and also you can't do a close-up of someone's face and see what they're thinking. They have to say, here's my thought. There could be a clue. And in this, you could just have Mustard, having that inquisitive look, and that's all you need.
Right. And I think you saw Clue on stage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, as did I. And when I saw it, like there was like the big call outs, especially in the beginning when they're all entering, there were spotlights on the two characters who knew each other, like look at each other. And that's really for the benefit of the audience, because you can't always see, depending on where you are in the proscenium, you can't really see the facial reactions, right? All the time.
Right.
And so that's done for the favor of the audience. And I felt like this over narration in the original draft is the same. It's like, let me go look here because this is where the cook was before. And then we found another secret,
We haven't searched everywhere. Neither have we.
Well, it's like if you watch a movie and there's always a scene where the guy's in his apartment and he's trying to figure things out and he's just recently watched Ace Ventura, right? And
Okay.
Ace Ventura is trying to figure out the connection between Einhorn and Finkel. And he's sitting there.
Finkel and Einhorn.
He's sitting there talking it out in his apartment by his lonesome, right? Now, no one, even though they did have him talking to his pets and his dog, nobody's really doing that. That's for the audience's benefit to hear the internal monologue. And so sometimes that's
You don't
necessary.
talk to yourself?
I don't talk to myself. No, I don't think so. Do you?
You don't? Oh, yeah.
You
Big
talk
time.
to yourself.
Oh, all the time.
Like, okay,
All
give me an
the
example.
time.
Give me an example.
All right, here we go. I'm getting up. Let's do it. That's like me getting out of bed every day. Like, all right, here we go. You can do it. Let's go. All right. It's Thursday. You're close. Come on, let's go. Not only do I talk to myself, I do it in plural. It's, come on, we can do it. Yeah. I don't know what that means either. Put in the comments.
Oh, like we. Like
Actually,
we
you don't
can
have
do
to.
it.
I've been to therapy. Like I'm a team.
Now, I will say sometimes, like if I was playing a sport, right, or I'm doing some sort of physical act where I need to psych myself up, I might say, "You got this, Gil. Get it, Gil. You got this, Gil." I refer to myself as Gil when I do talk to myself. It's Gil. I go to my Gil.
Okay.
So that might happen.
Well, when you're driving, do you not like talk like to the other drivers? Like, oh, come on, let's go.
I try to curb that behavior because I feel like it's not beneficial. You know what I feel like that is? That's the equivalent of me talking to random people on Twitter and like arguing with them.
Oh, no, I keep it all to myself. If I'd be very interested. Like I've thought about getting a dash cam just on me and hear how much I really do talk, because that could be a podcast in itself.
Probably
I'm
would
sure, because I'm talking the entire time.
So
Like, look at this guy.
Are you a finger flipper?
It's all out loud.
Are you a finger flipper? Do you flip the bird to people?
What is that? No.
No. You're not that aggressive. Are you an aggressive?
No, I don't really get. No, I was when I was in Boston, but you have to be. And now I'm a little bit more aggressive because it did follow me to California. But no, I don't. I'm not an angry person at all. I'm more disappointed in the human species. So I just go, oh, look at you. I'm like, you're struggling. That's too bad. I feel bad for people, but I don't get mad at them because they're doing their best. Everybody's doing their best.
We're trying here.
And it's not, and at different levels, it's just like, all right. And then the time I do get kind of mad is when I think they're not doing their best, or people are selfish. Like when they're like just out for them. I don't like selfishness, and I don't like unjustified arrogance. Those are the two things. Like when people really think they're great, and you're like, you haven't done that much.
Is there justified arrogance?
I don't think you wouldn't call it arrogance, but you can definitely be like somebody that's accomplished something, and you'd be like, all right, you can feel good about yourself, or you can give me some advice. You've got it figured out. Some people haven't figured out.
Some people get it. Some people
so.
get it. Yeah, I hear you.
You've got it figured out, right?
I don't have it figured out. I'm very far away from it.
You're doing pretty good.
I appreciate it. Looks can be deceiving. But anyway.
Oh, this is becoming a very deep episode, everybody. Where this is windows into the souls of your hosts. This is getting uncomfortable now.
Look, I just actually put my feet up. That's how comfortable I feel. I feel like now I'm on the therapist's couch.
You're practically laying on the therapist's couch. Yes. Yeah. He did put his head back, and I sat forward and I started writing down notes. How did we suddenly go into like, I'm your doctor?
While looking
Professor
at
Plum. Hopefully not Professor Plum.
Well, no. Thankfully not.
Yeah. Hey.
So in this minute,
yes.
If we've talked about secret passages in the past on this show, I think when we first discovered it a few minutes ago, and talked about their prevalence in some homes, especially older houses, seem to have hidden passageways. Now, I want to ask you, Jeff, if you had the ability to install a secret passage in your home, okay, where is the passage going from and leading to, and how does one access it?
It would probably always be a shortcut to the bathroom, because I think that's where you usually have to go quickest. Or I guess it would be like, why do you need a secret passage? That's the thing. You have to think about what the function is.
What the function is. Well, like in
you
this
would
one,
probably have a secret passage to your studio there because
Yeah.
you like need to get to it, and you don't want to disturb.
I would
anyone else
like
in the
not
house.
just a secret passage to the studio. I would like a secret room that leads to the a secret passage that leads to a secret room in which the studio is housed. You know.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it wouldn't be like to the kitchen, like or the library, because you can just walk across the hall. What's the big secret? Unless you were somebody sinister. If I had a secret passage, though, I would want to go full on Batman TV series from the '60s and have like the pole that you have to slide down, and then it changes your clothes as you're going down, and then you end up in your Batcave. That would be great.
So would
You're
you?
gonna go
You'd
secret
want
passage all the way.
You'd want the head,
bust of Shakespeare,
right?
Yeah,
And you push the button.
and then push the button, and then the thing opens. The only problem is if your power goes out or if something happens with your electric, you can't get down to the Batcave.
So probably one of my favorite secret passages in film is actually from another Christopher Lloyd movie, and that would be The Addams Family, where
Oh yeah,
they slide down. There's the bookshelf, the classic bookshelf. Do you remember what the book was?
absolutely. Is it Greed?
Greed. They
Yes.
pull Greed, and then they have to pull one of the chains, and then you slide down this thing, and
Yeah,
there's like this underwater lake, I guess, where you then
you
take
have to take the gondola.
the gondola. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Another good one is from the very underrated Disney animated film, The Emperor's New Groove,
Love it. David Spade.
with pull the lever, Kronk, wrong lever. Why do we even have that lever? And that gives them a roller coaster.
That's true. Why do we have
Yeah, that's a good secret passage.
that? Is a good secret passage. I think
Yeah.
another one that I
Good
enjoyed
idea.
from film history is the National Treasure series, the first one, where the to the treasure room they figure out like it's through this wall, right where Nick Cage. It's one of the great actually parts of the movie. They just talk. John Voight gives them the fake clue. They said 2 if by land, 1 if by sea, or whatever it was, and there are 2 lanterns in this, and they send them away. And then Riley, the character Riley's freaking out. How are we gonna get out of here? How are we gonna get out of here? Because we're gonna make a way out through the treasure room.
Yes,
Great
yes.
scene. Great
Good
scene.
reveal. And
Great.
Goonies has some good secret passages too.
Goonies is a good secret passage movie. There's
Yeah,
more.
you have to
that we're not
play
getting.
the piano to get through the secret passage.
Right. Yes.
That's pretty hardcore. And if you don't hit the right note, rocks fall, and then the whole trap is ruined. Like no one else could do it after that, because then the Fratelli show up, and then they just crawl along the edge. They didn't have to do it. It's a one and done secret passage.
Robert Davi's voice, second to none, by the way, in that movie. Just a beautiful,
Robert Davi.
beautiful singing voice.
Also a good Bond villain.
Great Bond villain. Great Bond
Yeah.
villain,
And a not great Bond movie.
but not a great Bond movie. Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Not one of my favorites. License to Kill.
Uh-huh.
Was he in License to Kill or Living Daylight? It was License. I get those 2 movies confused.
Oh, I know.
I think it's License to Kill that Robert Davi was in.
License to Kill.
Robert Davi, License to Kill. I was right. Should have stuck to my guns there.
Kill. Yeah.
And I love how he had like the
Tell me
most
more.
random name.
Lay
His name
down.
was Franz Sanchez.
Yeah. Not even close to anything that he would be tied to in life.
Franz, German.
Yeah.
Sanchez,
Yeah.
some sort of Hispanic origin, Latin
Right.
origin. I don't know. I don't know where Robert Davi's
Yeah.
fallen on that one. Strange. Jeff Smith.
Sometimes the names are a little silly in James Bond movies, I've noticed.
Really? I've never picked up on
Yeah,
that.
PG. P galore.
Ah, yes. Yes.
There's no subtlety by that one. They're like, hey, we've run out of double entendres.
So, quick Bond story for the Clue, the movie podcast fans, is in Goldfinger, which is one of the more iconic Bonds. He wakes up in the plane
Absolutely.
and Honor Blackman, which actually is a great name all to itself, who plays P. Galore.
Honor Black Man.
She's standing there looking gorgeous, and she says, "My name is Pussy Galore," right? And then
Right.
he says, in the movie, I must be dreaming, right? That's his line. Bad Sean Connery, that's his line. Now, the original line in the script, she says, I'm Pussy Galore. And he says, I can see that, but what is your name? That's the original line. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Even they knew, like, we're just not even trying anymore.
Yeah, even they knew. They're like, Sean Connery, apparently, legend has it, improv'd I Must Be Dreaming.
I must be dreaming.
Yeah, he improv'd it. Still the best Bond, Sean Connery, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Craig's a close
Who
second.
could argue that?
Craig's a close second, though. Craig's really good, man.
I grew up with Roger Moore, and I appreciate Roger Moore.
Love Roger.
For silly Bond, but come on.
I feel like you have to put them in groupings. It's Connery and Craig as the first group, right? And then it's Moore and Brosnan as group 2. And then it's Dalton and Lazenby as group 3. And you can put them wherever you want, but those are the 3 groups of Bond.
Who's going to be the next Bond?
I don't know, man. But I will say, if you want to hear me talk to George Lazenby, it's on the collection with Brad Gilmore. A full hour conversation with George Lazenby.
I've seen interviews with him, not yours, but I will. And he seems like a pretty shoot from the hip kind of straight talking kind of guy.
Can I tell you this? We talked for an hour.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm not even exaggerating, I think I may have asked 2 questions. Maybe. Maybe 2. 1 for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe 2.
Yeah. The first question was, are you ready?
Yeah, and he's got an interesting accent too, because he's an Aussie, but it's like a little bit of an American sounding Aussie. It's an interesting accent.
Like Mad Max, Mel Gibson.
Yes. Yeah, where you're not really sure what's going on there. Well, Jeff, is there anything from this minute we should talk about?
It's a lot of just walking around and finding a secret passage, folks. So
it is.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I think I guess they're gonna go back to the ballroom, and pretty soon, the lights are gonna go out. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, and it's just really.
But I will say this must be the remix of Shaboom, because it's a long version.
Well, there's always like the back in the day they had the long playing version.
The record could go back, I guess, but we never heard it like start over. This is the remix.
Isn't that what LP stands for? Long playing? Long play? Long playing?
Yes.
This is a long playing record?
Yes. How many times are you going to say it?
Long playing.
5.
There's just a lot of walking around. They discover the secret passage. This one doesn't seem to serve a big purpose, however. It just goes from the kitchen to the lounge.
Back to where Mr. Body's still chilling.
Yep.
At least we know that he's still dead. Yeah.
He's officially dead.
And that was Lee Bing's favorite part. He said, you just go to your spot, fall asleep. That's it.
As an actor,
I like that part.
I think he wasn't really an actor at this time, but if I were to be hired to be in this movie, I'd want to be Mr. Body, right? Because I can make a good paycheck. I don't have to do much. Couple scenes that are memorable, and then I'm dead the rest of the time. But I still get screen time as a dead guy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I've always said if I had to be in Clue, I'd be the motorist, because I think he's fun and he's out. He's out. And as we learned last week in our discussions with Lee on Instagram, he could be playing dead. So there's a lot. We've actually given the motorist a lot more backstory than probably anybody has ever thought. Remember, he's married.
He's married.
We caught that he has a ring. Yeah, that he's calling his wife on the phone. That's who he's talking to.
Yeah.
That he dropped off Mr. Body.
We thought about
at the beginning of the movie, and he's just driving around, and then that's how he got into his little accident. And he's like, "Oh no, I guess I better go up to the house. I know it's the only place around here, and I'll just play dumb." What body? You know what body? Motorist. If that's your real name.
I think at the end of this podcast, when we wrap things up around minute, was it 97? I think is the final minute of this show. So we got about 33 more to do. I think that we should rank every character, including motorist, cop, singing telegram, cook, all of them. We should rank them in an order of our favorites here.
Okay.
And then
Evangelist.
and maybe have a couple different lists that we can go through. You know,
Yeah. What criteria though? That's tricky.
we'd have to establish a
Like
criteria.
for comedy, for plots, for their
I don't know. We'd have to figure that out.
character strength. Because in this podcast, as we were talking, I think it might have been last week or 2 weeks ago, I have a new appreciation for Miss Scarlett. She was never one of my favorites, but as we've been discussing them at length, she has jumped very high to the top.
Number one.
And some people that I liked more have kind of dropped down.
Drop down.
Scott.
I agree. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to find out, man. We'll have to find out how we're gonna do that. But you know what, guys? Also, I want to hear from the Cluvians about a couple things. And Jeff, I throw this to you as well because I feel like next week, because we talked about it last week, I made an allusion to it this week. Next week, we should come up with at least 5 song titles for a potential Cluesicle.
Clue the musical?
Yes.
Cluesicle. Okay.
Cluesicle. We need to come up with 5 potential song titles and then explain where it would take place in the story. You know what I mean? And,
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody, please. Now, where should we send them to? Because we should put this all in one central location. Where should we send them? I could put something on Clue Documentary Instagram.
Let's do
or
that.
do we want it on Twitter?
Let's do the Clue Documentary.
There's more followers on the Instagram.
Let's do that.
Okay. So I will post something today, some sort of Cluesicle graphic. And if then people that don't listen to the podcast for whatever reason can also see it, and then they can chime in, and then people will say, yeah, well, your opinion doesn't count. You don't even know what we're talking about. But I'll post that today, this Monday. So actually, by this recording, I'm going to have to wait because it's going to make no sense if I do it today. But when this drops, well, I've got a week. When this drops, my favorite expression, we'll put the songs. And I Am Your Singing Telegram does not count.
No, you can't do that one. Can't do that
It's
one.
already in there. That's already in there. And that doesn't count like a weird song in the middle of a movie that's not a musical, like freaking Hook.
And you know what? Yeah, true. But you know what I would do in the Cluesicle? Because people would be waiting for the I Am Your Singing Telegram, right? In my musical, in my Cluesicle, the door would open, right? You reveal Singing Telegram Girl. Audience applause because they know what she's about to do. She's kind of doing one of these numbers, right? And she goes,
Yeah.
And she's about to go into it, and then boom, shoots before.
It's the one song we don't have. Right. It's what Gus Van Sant should have done in the Psycho remake. He should have had Janet Leigh or the Marion character take a shower successfully. And then leave.
Yes.
And then she's gone and then she gets into a car accident, driving away from the Bates Motel. Suddenly a semi truck runs her down and oh, that's how we do it in 1997, sucker. Or what? No, 98, whatever year it was. Yeah. Don't even try. Don't do the shower scene again, and don't do Singing Telegram Girl again in Cluesicle.
It's it. Not in my.
I think that's great. And that's in the book. That's in the book. There is no Singing Telegram song.
No.
So don't even try, folks. I mean, I've always been curious what verse 2 was. And you're Singing Telegram. If she hadn't been shot, where does that song go? It's pretty much, what about you? What kind of journey are we going on, Jane Weedland of the Go-Go's?
And and you know what? I also have some more ideas that we'll run through at a different date. But I like let's come up with the songs for the Cluesicle, and we can write the the Cluesicle with a Gaelic shrug. Jeff Smith.
Oh well, Gaelic shrug.
Yeah, that's got to be one.
That's a song.
Yes. Jeff Smith, cluedoc.com.
River Dance.
We'll be back next week with Minute 65, BoBradGilmore.com.
Clue Documentary on Instagram. Clue Documentary on Instagram. That is where Cluesicle is going to happen, friends. Go on it now. Go.
Do it.
Go.
Do it now. I do it for you. We'll be back next week with the Movie Podcast.
Yes.